Bekwai has 2, Obuasi has 2, Volta region has 7 on admission, Eastern region has 32 in Begro and Atua. And then we have one regional hospital with 7, and Bolga has 3 on admission. So that's just to share with you that the broad category status that we have. In the next slide, just, you can see that just, the number of tests that have been done over the enhanced periods in cumulative numbers that we have done. Currently, we have expanded our. So if you go back to the last time, you can see that we have cumulatively about 48 hours. So if you go back to the last slide, you can see that we have relatively now about 48,000 samples have been delivered for the testing. Our current testing sites has been expanded: Noguchi in Accra, KCCR in Kumasi. In the last few days, we have brought on the National Public Health Reference Laboratory in Kolebu. They are also doing so. The Veterinary Service Division in Accra and Pong Tamale have also joined in testing. So CSR2 is testing. So we are slowly expanding our capacity to test, because that's extremely important, because the essence of test and manage is to identify and isolate all positives from the community to prevent further spread. And so the faster you get your results, the quicker you are able to move them out of the society. So I'll go to the next. We have newly diagnosed centers come on board, as I mentioned. We are planning to bring the Tamale Reference Lab on board. The Cape Coast has expressed interest. We have Navrong, and within a short time, they are all going to be on board. We want to expand our rapid testing capability by introducing rapid testing kits. Currently, some are being tested to see their suitability for use in country. We are looking for identifying a new isolation centers and quarantine centers. As the more numbers of asymptomatic cases are picked, we need to quickly move them out of the community, and we implore all to participate, to assist and support this effort, because that's the only way we'll make enhanced testing very, very beneficial. If you cannot isolate them, then it doesn't really help us. And I'm also happy that we're going to talk about stigma, because we don't want a situation where people who are identified are shying away or running away from being treated, because they save themselves and they save the society. I've also given a picture that shows that the case management is very good, especially for those who come early. A significant number are doing well, so it's not a death sentence as is being perpetuated. I saw a video this morning about people lying on the beach that some countries are. I don't know why people do that, but we want to encourage people to avail themselves to the test and come for isolated and be put back to society. We will continue the aggressive testing and management in the focuses of Accra, Kumasi, and Tema. And in this final week, we are also going to do some enhanced work, especially in heavily populated areas, and then also people who we believe that have more contact with people than that. If they are positive, chance of spreading is high. We also focus on them and make sure that we are able to test all of them. So, as a minister, this is all I have. I just want to encourage everybody to stay home, practice the social distancing, and the hand hygiene. Thank you very much.
Dr. Patrick Boaje, Director General of Ghana Health Service, many thanks for your presentation. If I just may pick a few items in Chi, and while I'm about to do that, please let me announce that we are working with the Bureau of Ghana Languages, that this entire briefing is now being translated into about 8 other local languages and will be played back on national television and a number of other stations. But just a quick overview of what we've done so far. If you say, abanye juma o yedi akweta sa COVID-19 yare na yedi kan bo de ro ye chemu num di kan kwan a ye be fa so ne ahwese yare no ipodo epe kwan efi amanone abanka omdi bi bebre no ye betwa so and if you are say fiti be February yɛde mfidie gu airport a ɛhwɛ nkɔfo a ɛba yɛsan so hwɛ sɛ obi a ne ho nkrataa ne adeɛ nyinaa yɛtumi agye egu hɔ na sɛ asɛm bi kɔba yɛtumi adi akyire yɛbɔ ho mmɔden ɛyɛ sɛ adwuma no ma nipa ɔha ɛne edunum mpo yɛtumi ɛma yɛn nsa ka wɔn nwura sɛbe ɔman no mu ne nipa mfra nti na yare no bi wɔ wɔn ho but ɔman ntumi ɛne nipa mfra wɔ ɔman no mu saa adeɛ no edi kan na ɛyɛ no aso abapa ɛtɔ so mmienu ɛne sɛ yɛbɔ mmɔden sɛ yare no yɛbɛhwɛ na antea te sɛ okurom yɛfrɛ no containing horizontal spread ɛno nneɛma ahodoɔ a yɛayɛ ɔmampanin ahwɛ sɛ sukuu yɛatotom yɛnom a na yɛkɔ mmeammea bebree a nnipa hyiahyia no ɛnɛ ne nyinaa yɛde tabono ato so deɛ nsɔrensɔre ne imam ne nananom antranko nyinaa yɛ no yɛde tabono ato so ansa na yɛbɔ de rosa berɛ bi a yɛnhoro sa yɛnni yɛn ho ni ne adeɛ yɛasan so ahyɛ mmara act 1012 ama ɛnɛ nkran ne kumase ne nkuru nkakra bɛnbɛn ho no yɛsi obiara ntena fie ebi so no ɔman ne mu ankasa no yɛsi nipa dodoɔ nhwɛ wɔn ho yie ɛno aboa sɛ wode ka deɛ frɛ no enhanced tracing and testing na kyerɛ sɛ deɛ mpanyinfo afi yɛkɔ abɔnten na yɛnkasa yɛahwehwɛ yareɛ no nyɛ sɛ yɛtwɛn mu bi anya bi de aba yɛkɔ abɔnten ahwɛ na ɛno aboa ma apart from nipa 292 a ɔmo nyɛ bi ansa na ɔmo ma yɛ so ate no yɛnkasa so yɛ nipa 274 as a result of saa nneɛma nkaeɛ na yɛayɛ no ɛno na ɛboa ma yɛtumi abɔ mmɔde yareɛ no ɛnte ate se woyɛ no fi hɔ adeɛ ɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa yɛ wɔn anya bi no yɛbɛyɛ dɛn wɔn Ghana Health Service ɛna yɛdi anim ma yɛdi saa adwuma no ɔma pɔne ho krakyerɛ akyire yɛbɛkɔ emu kakra ansa na ɔkɔyɛ kwan ne nsunsuansoɔ ɛma yɛn nyinaa sɛbe yɛkasɛm ne nneɛma aka na yɛa na ɛwɔ soro nti ɔmampanin adi anim nti na nsuo sese yɛsɛ nsuo bosom mmiɛnsa da anim nsuo free ɛnyinam nkanea so yɛsɛ yɛde bi kyɛ na ebi wɔ hɔ a yɛayɛ no 50% apart from sɛbe yɛn hiafoɔ no ɔnom a ɛwɔ biribi de no ɔmo deɛ no aban ne ɔmo ɛkyɛ mu mmienu ansa na nneɛma a yɛnkasa yɛyɛ wɔ ɔman mu ha yɛako atia yareɛ wɔ esi no so no ɛno so yɛyɛ na wɔtwe mu no Minister for Energy and Minister for Trade ɔmo ba bɛka yɛn nsa na ɔmo akyerɛ ɛnyinam nkanea deɛ no ɛne nneɛma a yɛyɛ wɔ kurom ha no sɛn na akɔ akɔsi no mu na Ghana Health Service ɛbɛbɔ yɛ dewuro ɛfa a bere yɛ gyina yi yareɛ na he anaasɛ nipa he na yɛki ɛho wɔ Ghana ha sɛ ɔpanin Patrick Aboagye kyerɛ mu sɛ nipa 566 positive cases ɛna yɛho wɔ Ghana no na yɛkyerɛ mu sɛ wokyɛ mmienu a 292 ɛyɛ regular surveillance na ɛdi ho yɛ 274 ɛno yɛ nneɛma do afi yɛyɛ a yɛn yɛdi yareɛ no anim na ɛno na ɛma ɛyɛ ho na ɔsan so kyerɛ mu sɛ sesei test ahodoɔ a anaasɛ samples ahodoɔ a yɛtumi agye a yɛbɛ test no woka bom a bɛyɛ 48,000 samples and over. If you can go back to those slides, bɛyɛ 48,000 samples na ɛno na aboa ma ɛnɛ yɛhu nipa ahodoɔ a ɛwɔ yare no bi a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛtumi ɛtu wɔn so sa na ɛhwɛ ne ɛsɔm yareɛ titiriw enipa 17 wɔn ho atɔ wɔn koraa ɛno yɛ asɛm a ɛm sɛ yɛ asɛm dɛ ɛda nnɛ yɛbɛda nations ne Ghana Health Service ne doctors ne nurses ahodoɔ a ɛhwɛ nipa 19 yɛka sɛ obi ho atɔ na aseɛ kyerɛ sɛ efi ase na wɔ yare no bi yɛahwɛ no wɔ ayaresabea ama sɛ yɛsan hwɛ ne widie nim yɛ test a yɛnhu yare no bi wɔ ne widie mu ɛno na doctor fo ntumi ka sɛ nipa korɔ ne ho atɔ no that's the definition of a cured case emu aduasia nsia 66 bi so wɔ hɔ a yɛ test wɔn first one yɛnhu bi wɔ wɔn widie mu by pɛ sɛ yɛsan test wɔn biom ne yɛyɛ sure sɛ ɛkɔ koraa sɛ no nyame yɛ adom na sɛ ekuna baabi ɛhwɛ a yɛde bɛka saa du nson no ho ɛma yɛakɔ aduɔwɔ mmiɛnsa about 83 correct about 83 nti as at now 17 recovered cases 66 have had a first negative test and we are hoping that when we do their second test they will also be negative and that will bring it covered to about 83. Very good news for us and we thank the Ghana Health Service and the clinicians, the nurses and the frontline health workers who are handling all of these for us. Just to give some context very quickly before we move on. about Ghana's testing program, our enhanced testing program. We will recall that His Excellency the President gave us a target of trying to get about 50,000 test kits, about 50,000. Today we have picked about 44,421 samples, correct? 44,421 samples as at Saturday, April 11. So what is on the way to the labs is what will bring it to 48. But as at now in the labs, they have samples of 44,000. Now, please pay attention to this. If you want to test how well or how aggressively a country is testing, you look at their ratio of tests to every 1 million of their population. So take Norway. Norway has tested 6,492 people per every 1 million of their population. That's why we say that Norway is the one that is doing the most aggressive testing program, followed by South Korea. They've tested 6,182 per every 1 million of their population. That's why they are set. Australia has done 4,294. Italy has done 3,019. Denmark has done 1,566. Austria has done 1,533. Canada, 1,469. Ireland, 1,359, be number 8. Israel, 1,275. That'll be number 9. Now, over the weekend, where we were was 1,265 per every 1 million of our population in Ghana. That was because at the time we had tested 37,954. And as is being explained, where we are now, 40,221, will put us at 1,480 per every 1 million of our population. 1,480 if these statistics mean, assuming the other countries are not upping their numbers, which will not be correct because they'll be upping their numbers. But that clearly puts us even within the first about 10 countries that are aggressively testing. So just to put it in context of the kind of testing program, the enhanced testing program that we're talking about, which the president said was therefore making these 2 weeks a very critical period to guide us forward. So Dr. Boaji, to you and your team and the clinicians, we are very grateful. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, largely, the general public, as a result of the good work done through mass media and public health education committees at the local level, the general public has been cooperative in observing the measures introduced to fight the pandemic. And as we've mentioned, these include the social distancing protocols, the need to, as much as possible, stay at home, and the preventive etiquette of hand washing and the use of sanitizers. We acknowledge, however, that there's still a good number of persons who have either still not heard or who have not paid particular attention, or who just don't believe all that is being said so far about COVID-19. There are some who also hold certain beliefs that are not backed by science. We need to do more to ensure that the word will reach all of these persons. One person alone not observe the measures is a risk to all of us. After all, the virus, as is believed, started transmission from just one person far away somewhere in Asia. So just one person here in Ghana who is not observing, all of us at risk. To this end, we're going to step up local level education from this week, and we'll be respectfully praying the assistance of various groups, traditional rulers, media, and a number of others. I want to, at the second part of our presentation, invite the president of the Ghana Journalists Association. I do understand he's here with executives of GIBA and PRIMPAG, and they are working with us to step up through mass media. We have various legs, but as a first leg, through mass media, step up public and communal education. President Afomoni and your team, if you just join us to give us a quick overview of what you've done so far and how you are going to assist us up that level of communal education, first using mass media, and then we'll deal with the other legs of it. Please join us up here at the
president of PRIMPAG on my left, and executive secretary of Giba on my right. Gloria G is the executive secretary, and Edwin Atta is the president of Giba, PRIMPAG. Let me begin by taking a quick inventory of what's happening in the media. A popular TV station, a situational report on COVID-19, which covered a hair-raising spectacle of market women scrambling for tomatoes on a truck which was used to offload. Then the reporter asked the two men why they would risk their lives by physically mingling and not socially distancing. And one woman said, and I quote, "Minya yara bikra with the sanitizer, TT." And another woman said, and I also quote, "Me call Italy, Timinyebi." This spine-chilling response underlines the need for the media to scale up their game. Now, Dessa said, we've been strategizing to get the media to do a serious engineering of their programming. Report indicates that in many stations outside Accra, it's business as usual. We see radio and TV stations carrying programs with little or no informative or educational value. So, as the minister said, we are going to move all out to change our programming to ensure they reflect the severity of the pandemic and our readiness to combat it with all intensity and ferocity. We've been organizing programs with the help of the Ministry of Information and the Ghana Health Service. And apart from OT regions, which we covered, all the regions have had their turn. And reporting it that the training programs went very well, but in certain instances, they were developed by organizational problems. So we believe what will happen in OT will rectify all the challenges identified. We believe that there's a need for more effective collaboration with umbrella bodies of media organizations, IAGJ, PRIMPAG, and GIBA. And this will make for coordinated effort at information dissemination. We intend to form a strategic communication team, media strategic communication team. We've done it before. We have a history of conflict, except that in certain instances, that problem has resurfaced in certain areas, but this will not deter us from moving all out to ensure that we win this war against COVID-19. In every war, the confidence to win is a cornerstone of victory, but we believe that by synergistic effort, by mobilizing all the arsenals at our disposal, we will win this war against COVID-19. My colleagues, Edwin and Gloria, have the liberty to chip in one or two, but I've said it's the best repeating that it should not be business as usual. The media should capture the national mood and play a frontal role in the fight against COVID-19. So, Gloria, or Eben, if there's any. Okay. I thank you.
So, in your kind, no. Okay, maybe more. Your kind say, we dare you. Please.
Your president, a kind say, you know, you said, Yare, a hadrin, a war, Krumha, na and Crawford binum, a war, a dream beer, ya would drink who I won't tell say, bid me feel say, a binum to say, to me the normal be as a sigh Yareno. A binum to say, just a way to quack one son. What you mean, a Yareni be. Na adwene enye no kre enti wo mo a saafo no wo mo sa adwene no ensesa wo mo adwene because nye sa enetie ena o ka sense ntwefo ye wo krom ha no ye wo Ghana man no ye sese ye hu yie se ye boa na de wubo wo ye COVID-19 ho no akonenim dia ye ni se nkran ha Primpad members, GIBA members, DJ members, the fans, Ghana Health Service for the Ministry of Information for the fantasy. Bio Yasia ko regions ni nyina aka otinkwa na yentinkoye. Bibia ko kama nema ba kwa na mienu na nko ye nso ye human institution ye gitum ne ye gidi se dia ebekoso wo otino and be correct all the mistakes. And all kase se baby a yedroi ehiama say ban through the Ministry of Information in the Ghana Health Service no forming a strategic media communication team and as an issue never had media a strategic media communication team made up of all the three groups DJ for Bekaho ye Primpad for Bekaho and Geba for Ebeka na ya boa ban ewo ni dewu bom na wono ye gidi sese yesa information beko atebe in a more coordinated manner because sese de ye huni se newspaper way na akofa ne de bi we net so no akofa ne de radio for do bia fa ne de ye won namfofo doctor for na wo mo from ne identity information na ye de ba abonten no enye coordinated nti yesrese abanhwe infasa team strategic media communication team emra na se ba eni ba ma information na ko ya no nya ba ko chire kura no magina me president president eni minua ba Geba pani anam asre minua no nsɛmtwerɛ fam wo mu se sesiei ɔkono be bia eduro no se na minister for information kan no I had in kakra because no machine increase. You best stress say, young fire front page and to her, young from what they grew, Emma COVID-19. We who here if we say, Comodian, I say, a binomin yanti. Say, Yanim Crawford, crossing Cassa, no one yanti, I say ye, a binomatia, but woman nimnia, there was one yet to prevent further spread of the virus. It's your best say you are some trouble. You enter your home, you find your front page, your prime times, and more de group, no hinterlands. No, now, you did this as a boom sana, Yareno virus, no, and to me, and call a tribute. We can hear me who video, I say, any who be a hard pa video, no, say, Ubi, a re edimicate chum. Na okoshia branch bi no so nkrofo bi bechi nti famisi ewu dem na odi ne share ni dim o se me do share me dem di ende wa wani tuo na odi ne share ni o se ma dia tum wo de fami ko share na odi ne ko share mu no na omo ye ni a omo ye nkrofo na omo di ne chi ne bebo mu omo bebo mu no na obi be ma ni pie ye na obi sam say de no so ye hwehwe ewre bi o se atarese ne watwam we hu na no so mi hu no so o ewra no or quarantine center, and a wood journey, and a yedin chia befano, I the nako. Cratching the titini to me. Say, oh, or shall meet them, or shall meet them ho. No, besides, it's also the one I be beer. Master say, Yambo de Rose, Sabria Yomi, Yenjai, new relationships. Obia yen nimino, yes, re, Mama and in Chankaka, COVID-19, no, a bit Nancy, a bonya empire, yes, re, and Muma Yambo de Winter, new relationships, and whom here, see, COVID-19, you trim nuts and whom here, dear, let me go back to this new relationship, yes, Remo. Yes, Remo, say, only be beer, a here pa yawa, bontia, or chroma, yes, sir. Tinafie, Nasani, I will lockdown ya ufa chroma, cast ray, nipa bebreni adiano. Who cocromi, one share year, now who could share or beer or virus because and teta and nanso, yes, sir. Into you, they will both on the mess, say, sans some way, young fa ink and young map ink and kum. Young Sidu, young ka enka se. Emma ubiati say young year. Young cry who see endi and Sao Rona, Yadi and Sakaka Kayanimni, Nyoman Gutahudi, Chechania, the young year, young Casa Dachibi, you be blame young. Kakra make a chabinu and some chair for no.
So thank you to the JA, to the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association and PRIMPAG. We have already had training sessions nationwide, I think with the exception of the OT region that is about to complete their training, and Western North region, they are about to complete their training. We've also made available to the media through this collaboration a database of medical doctors who have been trained by the Ghana Health Service. We beg of you that now is the time to spend time giving the scientists, the doctors, airtime for them to talk science and facts to people. Now is the time to give the airtime and the front pages to the epidemiologists, for them to do a more public education. Now is not the time to empower MPP and NDC. We all like politics, but that can wait. Now is not the time for social commentators who purport to know everything about everything. Now is the time to give airtime, front pages to the doctors, to the scientists, to the epidemiologists, for them to talk the science, facts, and guide people. And so we are calling on our colleagues in the media through the GJA, GIBA, PRIMPAG, as we are making the experts available to you. Please talk to your members, let them help us, particularly more airtime, more local languages to get the word to ground. And we're happy at your collaboration. We're happy to look forward to going down some more. Now, the next one, traditional authorities remain a major pillar in securing local level compliance. The Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs has been drafted in to assist us get the support of traditional leaders in spreading the word and securing local level compliance. Minister Kofi Jamesi is responsible for Chieftaincy. Please join us with an update on how you are going about that so that we can get the word to ground.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister of Information, also known as Na de Urubohine of Ghana, Deputy Minister, ladies and gentlemen of the media, our Director General. Paramount chiefs are the arrowheads of traditional authority and therefore has wider reach and influence by virtue of their reference accorded them by their subjects. The threat and the prevalence of the COVID-19 implies an all-embracing approach, but particularly an approach that speaks the language best understood by people in the various traditional areas. The support of traditional rulers, therefore, is much needed at this crucial time, as they are accustomed with all segments of our social structure in the various communities across the country. In other words, every city, every town, every village that you go to in this country, there's a chief. I wish to mention that the President of the National House of Chiefs, Togbe Afede, the 14th, during their first meeting held in March, urged chiefs to play an active role in the fight against COVID-19, especially through educational campaigns. Most of our traditional rulers are abreast with the preventive protocols, and we encourage others to do so to enable their support in educating their subjects to stem the spread of the disease in their various communities. We have also heard from notable traditional rulers, Otumfo Nana Osetutu, the Yana, the Ochenhene, Osumanche, Nana Nkasa Bwedu, just to mention a few who are helping their communities in different capacities to support government expediently fight this deadly pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, there are about 360 paramountcies spread in the country, with traditional councils under them. The country has over 600 traditional councils in the 16 regions. We are engaging the paramount chiefs together with queens and subordinate chiefs to speak and engage the communities in sensitizing their subjects on the COVID-19 and its protocols laid down by government and Ghana Health Service. Some paramount chiefs may also, through our national television stations and other broadcast media channels, make statements and add a voice to that of government, the Ghana Health Service, civil society, religious bodies, and all other well-meaning entities to emphasize the guidelines and protocols that all citizens must observe, as well as traditional practices that should be suspended by traditional practitioners. Queen leaders will be actively involved in ensuring other supports of government, that those supports are distributed equitably and the vulnerable in their respective communities. Also, information, education, and communication materials on the COVID-19 protocols and emergency lines will be designed, printed, and shared to the paramounts to use as part of their sensitization efforts. Paramount chiefs may collaborate with municipal and district assemblies and the approved structures in their jurisdiction. I thank you very much for you. Thank you very much.
I want to say it in Hebrew for us very quickly.
Very briefly. Akpe, azojina tobe, egba machitere mi aponkumo be maglonyaka vado nami. So miapo coronavirus ikeva dore mi adome egba abanya to mi nyana miapo duklola nana do dan konfuado edegbepa. So coronavirus ya hagboglombe nanoli udzebe miawo ikebe na nimite wonuma wo ke ava donya doma miatu ngakpa baji ikwenye be egba miakugbo be fisha fimi ya miade mianonu ga amu mega no ha susumo ikebe na ovade fube na dolela de la maranchia okuva na novia nene make udzebe miakloshi shafi kana to azagba be ne wodovo na kloshi alebe coronavirus ama lere asimna o ena make miakpogbo be sanitizer yolia do ihe azam alebe amashama kwenchina no kokwe kanu ivazo nyebe le Ghana to koma fisha fi kanu ko afiawoli ye Solomon hawo oholi avadushio oholi kule amabubo ta eva hia ba fifia miagara afiaso hama akugbo be neji recovery na miapa fiawo alabo otampong na dumavio wose coronavirus ya goma na de enye na na ike awunama menye na na ike afwa ba waroko na tweko bo mojogere ju na zore ju afina nyaga afọ nu yezo mfifi la fienye ba na baraka kweko ye bitampu mama alo bi matampu gbobe amama odo dzehie ye oklere doyopa ayodonchi o na kakere tuko katamoko kem yakata mizo amakukuto atami ehudam na tukɔ kata be miadzagbagba coronavirus ya dodoma amesiame na senyama to atsɔ wò dɔe enuwo kata ko dzi be miawɔ kɔ miawɔ akpena mi.
Minister, thank you. Just two final parts of this social mobilization part. One is to do with some more communication in local languages. I gave some hints earlier. The Honorable Pius Enam Hajide has been leading the effort to ensure that we get a lot more local languages spreading the word. Honorable Pius, please join me with a quick update on that. And then we'll talk about those who are distributing relief items and creating more problems for us. Please join us.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers of State, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. To deepen information dissemination on COVID-19 and to carry the entire nation along as our country responds to and combat the deadly coronavirus, Ministry of Information has engaged the services of the Bureau of Ghana Languages to translate all key communications into local languages. This includes the presidential broadcast, the Ministry of Information press briefings, and all other policies and major announcements on COVID-19. The Bureau of Ghana Languages has translated these materials into 8 local languages, including Twi, Ewe, Ga, Dagbani, Hausa, Dagari, Nzima, and Kusal. These materials are being made available to all the 10 regional FM stations of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, all the 6 GBC television channels, all radio stations and TV stations across the country as content to support their programming. Radio and television stations are encouraged to use these materials to aid in the efforts at deepening public education and cooperation. The Information Service Department has just completed one of its public education campaign. And ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman in your shot, the one before this, the DIO of one of our districts, on his way back from one of our Vancast public education campaigns, was involved in an accident. We invite you to remember him in your prayers. We also invite you to remember all other field officials in your prayers as they do this work. The earlier mentioned translated materials will further be used by the ISD and its collaborating agencies such as NCCE, private sector assisting organizations, and faith-based organizations that are involved with the public education campaign. These translations into the various local languages will also be deployed across the 30 information centers per district, as the information officers have been tasked to employ as part of the campaign. Whilst expressing country's gratitude to the decentralized and other agencies such as the Ghana Education Service, NADMO, Ministry of Food and Agriculture, the Ghana Revenue Authority, etc., we continue to invite other agencies that have logistics to assist the ISD on the ground to join us do this together. I thank you, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Deputy Minister, thank you for that quick update. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are, as I mentioned, at a critical stage where we need a lot more communal understanding and participation, and that's why we're spending time to rally all of you to assist us in various ways to get the word to the ground. Now, we are also obliged to send a very strong word out at this stage to persons who are distributing food relief packs on why they need to ensure that they don't end up compromising the national effort in the process. First of all, we applaud your service and your intentions. But if you do not ensure social distancing guidance and you don't ensure that they are observed at your distribution points, your efforts will be counterproductive. I want to encourage you to do well to ensure social distancing is observed at your distribution points. The ministries of local government and the ministries of social protection have issued guidelines on how we should go about food distribution of relief packs. You must make an effort to demarcate standing points so that at least that minimum 1 meter or minimum 2 meter gap is observed. If we don't do it and we are people to crowd and scramble, we will rather probably be causing more horizontal infections than that we are purporting to offer. And so we will be uploading these guidelines on the Ministry of Information platforms and social media handles. We want to ask you to observe them. Just as we are having to close some markets for non-observance social distancing protocols, the state will not hesitate to stop persons who are purporting to offer help but are causing more problems in the process. So we want to encourage you, please do well to observe the social distancing guidelines as have been put by the ministries of local government and social protection. I'll quickly move to security and prosecutions, but let me just quickly wrap that up in three. One of my aduane ene mom se omde bo ankofo sa yeda mo ase ye ni so de amoye no na mum se mo ammomode anhwe se nipa no ebetete omuntem abra wo de waduane ana bibi ekoma oma wo bewie no kra na wo mo krampo wa mankofo ache yare no krampo a wa ha ye nsin se wo boaye nti ebesre sa abre ministries of local government and social protection ede nkrato aba kwan e be fa so atumi aduane ache mmoa enkonkofa asemba ebesre ye di ye internet platforms no so any social media yibi na kan na hu kwan abefa so aye ye mpese bedum pempenso ya senia ya toto market bi mu se ye pese nkomoto ye de na nso omo observe social distance omo hwe mani pantiti omo ntaminti ya toto ye mpese bedum pempenso bi ye beka se wono ma eche aduane ne aboade ekrampo no ye mo magyae wo ba bi ye mpen te besre mo se mumma afutu about send any papi to muntem na nya adwuma na amaya nkwanko dube but say ye kase musmunjai. We are in week 3 of the imposition of restrictions in Greater Accra, Greater Kumasi and contiguous districts. The Ghana Police Service and the Ghana Armed Forces have been running a joint operation to enforce the restrictions if it becomes necessary to arrest persons who are being recalcitrant. This morning, I want to invite ACP Lydia Donko, who is head of prosecutions in the Accra region of the Ghana Police Service, speaking on behalf of other heads of prosecutions in the 15 other regions about how they are now moving towards prosecutions of persons who are being recalcitrant and why you should ensure you don't get into that case. ACP, please join us.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Good morning all protocol observed. The general nature of Operation COVID-19 has been a humanitarian one, and the feedback the police administration has been receiving on a daily basis is that people have largely complied with the directives of His Excellency the President and staying at home and not coming out on flimsy excuses for businesses which are not exempt. So the officers and men you see on the road on a daily basis have snap checkpoints, roadblocks, checking movements of people from place to place. They are enforcing the law and also engaging in some form of public education. So we have people in trotros, in buses, when they get the checkpoints, the police officers on the road engage them and advise them on the need to stay safe and also remember all the protocols that are ensured to protect themselves from this deadly virus. However, there are definitely a good number of people who are recalcitrant. People are leaving their homes. People are still having parties. People are going to the beaches. People are having weddings, which are clearly in violation of what the Imposition of Restrictions Act is. So for these recalcitrant people who are failed to comply, the message is that you are going to be dealt with in accordance with the Imposition of Restrictions Act 1004. Such persons have been arrested. After successful investigations, they are being prosecuted. The breakdown is as follows. So far around the country, 406 persons have been arrested. 103 are in custody. 248 have been granted bail, and 41 have been processed for court. I'm going to give the breakdown per region. So in the Greater Accra region, we have a total number of 161 cases. In the Ashanti region, we have 70 cases. In the Volta region, 67 cases. In the Western region, 8 cases. In the Eastern region, we have 6 cases. In Tem region, we have 31 cases. In the Bono region, we have 20 cases. In the Northern region, we have 9 cases. In the Central region, we have 24 cases. In Oti region, no cases reported. In the Ahafo region, no cases. In the Savannah region, no cases. In the Northeast region, we have 1 case. In the Upper East region, we have 8 cases. Upper East region, 2 cases. And the Western North region, 8 cases. And lastly, in the Bono East region, no cases. The Ghana Police Service wishes to advise the general public once again to comply with all the rules and regulations governing the Imposition of Restrictions Act. All my colleagues, head of legal and prosecutions in all the other regions, have been charged to ensure that they enforce Section 6 of the Imposition of Restrictions Act 2020, Act 1012. And I will state here for emphasis that if you are arrested, you will be prosecuted after successful investigations. And you are found guilty, you are likely to pay a fine ranging from 12,000 Ghana cedis to 60,000 Ghana cedis, or to a term of imprisonment of 4 up to 10 years, or both. So it is in your own interest to comply with the rules and regulations, ensure that you're staying at home. If you are found on the road and the officers are compelling you to go back home, ensure that you do not engage in any resistance with the officers. If you do that, you are going to be arrested, and definitely you will spend time in our custody and you will not be free to go home. So stay at home, stop the spread, and let's stay safe. Thank you.
ACP, thank you for that very quick brief. The police lawyer Oba Penino, any ebedi hun say emra wo hwa ide ye adwuma ye cassette ne fia emra ta ekiri sabria ye kase Ghana ha nyina pa ahanan eni nsia na police for ache wom say emra ye dia agu akwan mu say omo ntena fia na say mumpie ana say mo nye yie mo nye parties eye di say se woni nkran ne kuma say a wutumi ye nipa ne mbotu 5 ayefro ne ade ye nyide nja sorry ye koma sarachi ye nya no o match pa had 9 in sia o mu de o monte se dogo bi no abe still o manyu so mbe sabri emu aduanan ko de o mu de o makogina court a o mu bo o mu ko edu na o mu koso se e ma o mu form nsanka won ko nkogina court e usia police for ana soldier for no mu no di nkomo se da bi san ko fia na o no mbe yia no yes I do kogina court a waso e be ye hye papa ACP, thank you for that quick update. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, shortly, I would invite the minister responsible for communications to give us a quick update on COVID-19 app, as was outdoored yesterday. Before then, we want to deal with stigmatization. It's one of the major challenges generally in disease control and one of the emerging challenges that we are having in our COVID-19 response program in Ghana. In this case, it's the disapproval of discrimination against a person because he or she is thought to have contracted the disease. Now, it has a number of effects. It makes suspected cases go underground. It makes communities wary of supporting patients or even wary of allowing isolation centers to be put there so that we can support persons even in that community. It makes communities and individuals, or it puts them in a position where they end up just undermining the entire response program. I want to invite Dr. Adjoa Edwin, an advisor to the National Response Team, to speak to the nation at this moment on the challenge we are facing with stigma and what we need to do to reverse it. Doc, please join us with that quick update.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Good morning, and all protocol observed. Just a bit of correction. I'm Ama Edwin, not Adjoa. So basically, we'll be looking at the challenges that we are facing with stigmatization, as the Honorable Minister mentioned. When we talk about stigma, we're talking about a group of people or an individual who is treated differently based on something we perceive as being something we don't want to be in touch with or associated with. And in this case, we're talking about COVID-19. So what is happening now is that we have patients who have been diagnosed with COVID-19. We have their families. We have healthcare workers who work in facilities all being stigmatized. And when it happens that we end up labeling them, stereotyping them, discriminating against them, treating them separately, and then they lose their status in the society. Why is this happening? It is happening because COVID-19 is a new disease with a lot of unknowns. When it started in Ghana, it was seen as a burger disease, have-been disease, because it was those who had a history of travel who were having it. But now it is in the wider community, and so we need to look at it. The Honorable Minister highlighted some of the impact, and this is what we are seeing in the facilities. I work at the University of Ghana Medical Center, and so we occasionally have patients who come and are not forthright with travel history or history of contact because of stigma. I'll give you an example. A colleague shared with me that she had been managing a woman with hypertension with a group of drugs that cause cough. Cough is a side effect of what we call the ACE inhibitors or ARBs. So in managing her, the doctor was trying to find out whether she's experiencing a cough. So she asked her, are you coughing and do you have any history of cough? The woman said, no cough at all. So later on the doctor said, okay, when you do cough, let me know, because the drug that I've given you can cause a dry cough. He's like, oh, doctor, sir, but the reason why she didn't say so is fear of stigma. She thinks that once I have a cough, I'll be diagnosed with COVID-19, and once you have COVID-19, you'll be stigmatized. So how can we deal effectively with stigma? We know things that work for us, so let's look at a few. We need to build trust in our health system. Stigma often starts from within. All my life I've worked in mental health, and nowhere stigma emphasized or stigma as real in mental health, where even when you are a practitioner, I remember those days, yes, 96, working at a psychiatric hospital. Even my husband who was stigmatized because his wife worked in the psychiatric hospital. But we also know things that we can do that can fight stigma. So having reliable information is one. We know that regularly the Ministry of Information, together with the Ghana Health Service, the Director General is here, update us with what is happening. So you have to have the know-how, and then we show empathy to people who are being affected. We have a saying that says that if you see your neighbor's beard on fire, you collect water, you fetch water and put it against, not because yours will catch fire too, but in case it catches fire, you have water to douse the fire. We have community spread. We never know who is going to get it. So let's be empathetic to those who have it, so that when you have it, the same way you treat others, you will get the support. But if you stigmatize others, next time it might be you. We also need to understand the disease, and that's why I'm so happy about the education that's being done in various languages. And then we should adopt practical measures that work. But in terms of the bigger picture for all of us, I'm going to talk about 3 things that we can do. Words matter. So we'll first look at the do's and don'ts of stigma. Then do your part. We are all involved, so we all have to do our part. And I'll give a few communication tips to the media. So what are the do's and don'ts? Let's look at some of them. Talk about people who have COVID-19. Don't talk about COVID-19 case. It's not this. The person is a person first. So a patient or a person with COVID-19 or being treated for COVID-19, recovering from COVID-19. We don't want you to say COVID-19 case, COVID-19 suspect, COVID-19 probable. That is stigma generating. We talk about people who are presumptive to have the disease rather than suspect, because in our police officer just spoke, once we use the word suspects, it's like you've done something wrong, and that is what is in people's. So what you want to say is that this is a person or a patient who is thought to have COVID-19 or may have it. It's also important that you talk about the fact that, oh, this person traveled and contracted the disease, rather than he traveled and brought the disease to Ghana. One of the things the media will do, they go so much always looking for a zero, the index case, and tracing them. Why is that so important? It is here. We need to look at how we can manage it. It's very important that you don't talk about people infecting others. Super spreads. It's a word that is bundled often. But once you identify a person or a group of people as super spreaders, you are stigmatizing the whole community, not just a person. Do share accurate information, tested information. I personally am so sick and tired of people saying, I didn't generate it, I just forwarded it. If you hit the forward button, it means you are testing to it. The worst is people who don't even read what they are forwarding. What is the essence? What you want to do is to make sure that the information you are sharing is true, it's empowering, it will help people deal with what they are going through, it will not generate fear and anxiety in people. We also need to talk about the effectiveness of preventive measures when done. Stay home. Keep social distancing. Avoid touching your mouth, your eyes, and nose. So the acronym is avoid touching men. The acronym is an acronym. Avoid touching your mouth, your eyes, and your nose. MEN, men. Avoid touching men. It's actually acronym. That is stigma. My director general says that is stigma. I'm in trouble. Okay. But so these are some of the do's and don'ts can do. Do your part. We all have a role. Whether you are in government, whether you are a civil society member, whether you are a media, whether you are a key influencer, there are things that we need to do. I've already talked about the fact that when you are sharing information, share facts, share what is true, what is empowering, what they encourage people. Don't highlight the negative so much. Let's engage the social influencers and community members. You know, people who will be readily listened to if they start to speak. We need to amplify the voices and stories of people who have been through it. And there are people who have been through it, ranging from medical doctors to business people to the ordinary person. These are narratives we can tell. These are stories we can share, because you get to know that most of the people who do get these disease recover. Most people get mild disease. Many people get asymptomatic disease. They don't even know. So the percentage or the proportion that get moderate to severe disease is not the majority. We talk about that, but let's highlight the positive stories. Let's start hero campaigns when we've seen people who have overcome odds, especially in line of COVID-19. Let's highlight these things. Let's honor our caretakers and our workers and our frontline workers. I work in UGC, which is a treatment facility. I wear PPEs, I do that. But sometimes, even within the community, in hospitals, I'm not talking about my hospital, but you work in a place that is only for COVID-19, you go home, people see you differently, you interact, people see you differently. Let's focus on ethical journalism. You know your ethics, you know the stories you're supposed to spread. Let's focus on that, and let's link people up to services. One of the things that is being done, and the Honorable Minister forgot to mention it when he was talking about people, is the Ghana Psychological Association has been providing psychosocial support. The numbers out there. So if you are anxious, if you're worried, if you feel stigmatized, if you feel discriminated against, just call any of the numbers and you will get help. And in terms of communication, let's not spread misconceptions. Let's not spread rumors. Let's not spread things that will bring fear into our society. Let's correct misconceptions, and let's promote the importance of prevention. We can fight, we can win this. Kakra me pese meka otwi mansa na matena se. Yare ya abaya ye friend COVID-19. Enye eniwudie. Ukonya enye se boni bi na waye. Se wutu kwan po na nti wunya baya. Enye won phone so wan tu kwan se ukoje ye na ba na wode abesane enkrofo. Enti wunya yare bia me pa cho enfant na fi ko hospital free line because se ye hu ntma eni betumi aboa ba ye nim se the way ya enkrofo eye ni nti ebinum nya yare na no mo pese o mu disma because ebia obeko hospital ye beje na to ho no nsiesie nechi anase na ebusuafo recently kan ebi ose store obi enya bi wo ho nti na ebusuani bi edidwa enkrofo mbeto ade e wo ho bi omo to store dum nti me pa cho social media nyoma bebre wo ho enye bibia wo nsaka ene o se wo forward epinum wo hokra ade na omo fadi nupo omo nkan ye ne yesesa nkrofo ya yese na we ya yese ye ana ye ma yare no ye asedi ya ne ye ni wudie ye stigmatizing inti nipa kro no obi po a onka oba house so a onka no kra inti ye pam cho enkenka omo wo media no se mudi nkrofo oba mo fa nkrofo mu betumi abekasa na mo betumi achichi ye nre mo betumi ahye ye nkran mo betumi ama oman ne tumpo na kase se yare wunye bi kra ensro because nyoma bebre wo ho a ye betumi aye ne ye di aboa na mijedi pa se ye nyina ye mu na ye ya fam ne ehu se ye wo community me nye bi nyese me ye ejuma wo hospital nko na metumi because hospital no ohona me wo no minim so mo a omo hwe me sure mo no de omo yare ni bi nti me bo me ho ba but say bi a haya ye we anase wo kokrum anase wo bebi obi wo ho na oni bi a metumi nya bi nti na o say ye na ye si ya dream pise yare obi nya bi emma ye nhemi no ye nhuro no ye mpam no ye nye no ha or see a car who boom or say a train near door, ye stray and near a radiator, ye be to me overcome this. Thank you.
I'm not charging for the hand sanitizer. Sorry.
Now you buy me.
Thank you, Dr. Ajua Edwin. Dr. Edwin, thank you. Forgive me. It's corona pressure. Just to put a few things in perspective, I think I've already noticed a number of news websites reporting that we have mentioned here that 10 persons have died. I'm not too sure if it's because somebody misspoke or they misheard us. Just to be clear, Dr. Boaje's data is that 8 persons have died. So our colleagues in the media who are writing online, please make that correction. 8 persons have died, but 70 persons have been cured. That means they've tested negative after the second. 2 negatives after treatment. 2 negatives after treatment. Okay. So 17 persons have been cured. That means they've tested negative twice after going through treatment. There are 66 others who have gone through treatment and have tested a first negative, and we are in the process of getting them their second test. Fingers crossed, they will also test negative. And that is what would hopefully eventually bring our numbers to 83. We haven't said 83 people have recovered. Please. We have said 17, and then we have said 66 who have gone through a first negative test. And eventually, if hopefully we get a second test also negative, that is what will bring us to 83. So our colleagues in the media, please help us to get that context right. Now, Dr. Amma spoke about the spread of false or inaccurate information on social media, sometimes with the excuse that, oh, I just forwarded it as I received it. Indeed, last night you saw some fabrications going around that our case was around 1,000 and something. We'll deal with those ones later. But let me just read a section of Act 755. TP. Hopefully your future prosecution numbers will include this. Act 755, the Electronic Communications Act 2008, Section 76. A person who by means of electronic communication service knowing sends a communication which is false or misleading and likely to prejudice the efficiency of life-saving services or to endanger the safety of a person, a ship, aircraft, vessel, or vehicle, commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not more than 3,000 penalty units or to a term of imprisonment of more than 5 years or both. A person is taken to know that a communication is false or misleading if that person did not take reasonable steps to find out whether the communication was false, misleading, reckless, or fraudulent. Subsection 2 does not apply to the operator or provider of the network or service over which a communication is sent. Later, I also read the provisions of spreading false news with the view to cause fear and panic. There are laws in this country against these. You will not be excused by saying, I didn't know, I was just sharing it, I was just forwarding it, especially when, with great respect, the same phone on which you are sharing, if you just went to the Ghana Health Service website or the Ministry of Information website, the same phone and data, you will get the accurate information. You will not be excused for spreading the fake one and saying, you didn't know. So we'll come to a bit of these later. Honorable Minister for Communication, since we are talking about communication, please join us and tell us about the COVID-19 app, after which the clinicians and the first responders have a quick word for us, and then we'll take questions and answers. Honorable Minister.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. And before I come to the app, I'd like to share a few things about what the communication sector is also doing to assist in the fight against COVID-19. The telecoms companies have all zero-rated, i.e. they provided the service at no cost to customers who browse all educational sites and all websites for the Ghana Health Service and Ministry of Information. So if you go to the Ghana Health Service website, you're not using any data. If you seek information from the Ministry of Information's website, you're not using any of your data. It has been zero-rated and it is for free. They're also providing support with the emergency numbers 112 and 311 to help the fight against COVID-19 and all the other emergency numbers that are being used by the Ghana Health Service. As you're all aware, data usage has also increased dramatically during this period of lockdown, and there is congestion on all the networks, and so the quality of telecom services to the general public has been affected by this. I say the traffic jams have moved from the streets online. And so the President has directed that the NCA should give more bandwidth, more spectrum at telcos
during this period for free, and that has been done. Fortunately, we have only a limited amount of spectrum currently available, and that has been given to the two telcos that are bearing the brunt of it, Vodafone and MTN. Airtel Tigo has sufficient spectrum. And so Vodafone and MTN have been giving the additional spectrum for 3 months, because we do need to reserve some for emergencies like this. And so we can't give it them permanently. So they've been giving it to use for the next 3 months for free, and hopefully that would help reduce the pressure on their networks. We can also help further by changing our online behavior a little bit. If you don't have to make a video call, don't make a video call, or call on WhatsApp or any of these platforms. Make your normal phone call. It will go through, but you conserve the data that you use. Let's limit the downloads of movies and music and stuff like that. We already have some saved on our phones. TVs are also working. Let's see how we can utilize the available mediums that we have to reduce the pressure on the scale, the data that we have. And now maybe it's time for you to read that book that you've put aside for a long time. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with using data, but let's see how we can also modify our use of data to see that we can conserve it. The ministry is also working with StarTime, using the 300 digital satellite villages, digital villages project to screen free educational content for all our students in the village. As you may recall, in 2008, this project donated 6,000 decoders, 600 projector TVs, and 300 TV sets, which are all solar powered, to 300 villages around the country to facilitate digital communications. That infrastructure is being utilized with the Ghana Education Service to showcase the Ghana Learning TV, so that our children that are at home can also use this project. We're also working to establish virtual offices for some 300,000 public sector workers, utilizing our smart workplace project. There currently are 20,000 workers already using it, which makes it possible for them to work virtually, securely, from home. And government business has worked. We don't know how long this is going to last. We hope it won't take very long. But if it does, we also have to explore other ways of using technology to facilitate our government-to-government citizen engagement. And this is a secure platform that the ministry is working with the Ministry of Finance to make available to all MDAs. I'll use this medium to urge the chief directors and heads of agencies to answer simple questionnaires that we've already sent to them, so that we can position them and put them on this platform to enable them to work. It would also enable them to have meetings through audio or video conferencing. And the connectivity can be anywhere, anytime, and on any device. PCs, laptops, tablets, and on smartphones as well. And the telcos have also zero-rated this service. And so we can use the Smart Workplace platform for free while this period lasts. We're also using technology to assist the Ghana Health Service to fight the coronavirus pandemic. And on 23rd March, His Excellency the President signed the Executive Instrument 63 on establishment of emergency communications services. Now, that has already is being set up with telecoms companies using the metadata behind our phone communications. It is not collecting the content of anybody's communication. We're not interested in who is saying what to whom or who is sending which message to whom. We don't even know who, we don't have the names of anybody. We're just using the phone numbers and the locations to be able to assist the Ghana Health Service track incidents of this virus and to enable them target their interventions more accurately. Now, the COVID-19 symptom tracker is also an easy-to-use digital tool that's designed to help people self-report their symptoms and assess their health situation for COVID-19 risk. As Dr. Edwin indicated, people are reluctant to even tell whether or not they're facing or experiencing any of these symptoms. But through the app, can give the accurate information anonymous, just giving their phone numbers and their locations. That information will be analyzed and will be given to the health service, who would know which areas are having symptoms that are akin to the virus symptoms, to enable them send the contact tracers to those areas, to those locations, and take the samples of those who've sent in their responses. It is not providing general information about the virus. There are lots of resources already available, and we wanted a simple to use tool which anybody at all could utilize to report their symptoms. The data is also encrypted, so no personal information, name, ID, or address is recorded on the platform. However, it would record the people's GPS location as they move. The launch was held yesterday, and I must thank the musicians who also performed for free to lift up the spirits of those of us in lockdown and educate the public through music as well. People are questioning why we had a virtual concert to launch this app, but I think that the musicians also saw it as an opportunity for them to also give something back. Those are the skills that they have, and the feedback we indicates that quite a lot of people appreciated the performances, and through that they also learned a bit. And I can report that as at this morning, there are 16,000 downloads already, even though it's just through the web link on Android. And the reports on it are interesting. About 100 of those have reported symptoms which are likely to be corona-related. So we'll pass on that information to the Ghana Health Service. So out of the 16,000 plus, we have 100 that are of interest that would make it easier for them to target and locate. Now I'll encourage everyone to also utilize the app. And we're working with the Apple Store to make it available on Apple. But the information we got was that many of the smartphones in this country are Android based. And so we figured that by making it available for Android users quickly, we would reach a larger population as quickly as possible, while we worked with the App Store to also make that available. It is Ghana specific. Interested in what is happening in our country. I know there are others that are looking globally and collecting that information globally. But yedi yefie asem. We're interested in tracking the virus in our country. And so it is specifically designed for use within Ghana to help us to collect the data as quickly as possible and zero in on possible areas of interest so that we can work on that. It is not just for those who have smartphones. We recognize quite a number of our people have YAM phones, and so it has USSD capabilities as well. If you dial *769#, somebody will receive that call and lead you through the steps to answer the simple questions to let us know whether or not you may be having symptoms that are likely to be corona related. So we would encourage all of us to work together using the simple tools that we have at our disposal. They are domesticated. They are designed for our own circumstances to help us all to stay safe together. This is not the time to fight each let's all come together to fight the virus. And if anybody has any suggestions as to how we can improve the setup, all those suggestions are also welcome. Okay. Pamcho said maka brofono tromono sanofum kakra mekatwi na mfanchame. Kakra meka ye ne se your Ministry of Communications any your juma your no any telecoms companies ni agencies anyone ye juma no mo so mo kakra wa mo ye de aboa coronavirus or how ya abayi ne say websites are yedi esi ho say yedi bebo dawuru afa sa virus yi ho aye Ministry of Information Ghana Health Service apomudin as any Ministry of Health apodin asu yefo no wa wobekọ ho bia no wo use wo data telcos na ye no say wobekọ ho a zero rated ho ka bia inti dawuru bia na information bia beba benya ewo any of those websites no free you hwe your phone so I'm said there be a network be a so be a almost the simple messages be to so e boy en koko e en kai ese nyama e wo se ye obi a wo phone use networks e wo omemu he bia e be di dance say there be a networks ne my sa messages no so omonye ye sika bia e wo ho emergency numbers na ye dia ba e 112 and 11 any die e wo finisu wo machine nyina no eno nso so wokọ ho no mo o fresh number na eno nso wo mmọ ho ekabia na ye nyina mpani aka yi yare yi enante na ye na ye nante ye de echi no nti ye ntena fie ni no ye wo fie no ye use ye data no amanfo ewo ye phone ni so nti nka traffic be work akwan so no sisi a enam you can say online you can say otwi abefo ntentan ne so enenenam traffic ne ko abefo ntentan no eso nti mampani aka say ye ne won entena se ne hwe kwan e ba so a ye betumi ama omo atumi atre on emfidie ni mu na atumi aduru amanfo atumi ayusu me pipe ni mu kakra na kwan medem kakra na traffic jam no enkofom kakra enti yama won spectrum akra ye de afem won na twe bosome miensen yi a esi yanimi omo hwe se beboa omo nwumakuo no na omo so won ho ahare won kakra na se nipa dodo na eyusu yen phones yen computers ni ade enti pressure aso nti eho achiri kakra ti ye besre se ye na nso ye hwe kwan a ye betumi afa so a ye beboa won na won hu so ahare won kakra ti ade a betumi afa phone kasa afre no fa telephone ne frɛ menye WhatsApp call menye video call ye hu ya adofo animu a eye nanso ye nsusu yusu no saa na emma ye free data ne app na se bibie hia pa se wo ye no ye kwa na nkwa akotoko ewo yegusuwa ne won edi nkita ho ahwe kwan a be fa so a omo be services no ebeboa ye nyina na ba ko a saa yare ya kire ye ne se yapo muden enhyehyɛ no ye hyemu ekena ena yen abefo ntentan telecoms nhyehyɛ ne nsoso no nsoso ye hyemu ekena se pa na ntumi ento anamo a ne nkomodie no obedi no mfram nti saa infrastructure ne nsoso e wo se ye mu ekena nti saa edwumadie no ye behwe na yaye ye next times any Ghana Education Service and so project na year 2018 na this 6,000 decoders 600 projector TVs akese any 300 TVs equal 300 in Kronketwa around Ghana no ye use sa infrastructure no near the abwa ye mabune ye kunkwala no mo de esuade e Ghana Learning TV no so em say nekura mi hu say DSTV so e wo so any GTV nyina utumi kɔ hɔ no mo a utumi nya saa Ghana Learning TV no wasuade abefo ekwan so na ye boana aban adwuma ye fo nso so omo atumi atena fie se ba se wo si na fie ni echa omo atumi atena fie no mo aye adwuma edi kita ho no safely o how bia mbre omo adwuma no ana krankre no ana omo inkomodie na omo die no na abo ye a secure platform who's the missing saa na montuo no na adeboyefo antumi anko bo awuramu enhu nti minim say other platforms wo ho be secure platform a ya bambo nhyehyeye won ho nyina yaye nti udi dwuma wo ho a se oni no ete wanimu a wona no nkita ho die nti ye documents a ye de koba ni nyina entrankwa abonten kasa na ye kane nso enyu kogu baby foforo eni mfuni na ye yi wo so ne nso so bambo hyehye ni nyina pepepe wo ho ye pese be 300,000 public sector workers eye nyuma ku e wo ye ministries departments the agency no etumi use sa platform yi e de ye adwuma nti ye Ministry of Finance ye ho hyehye mefas kwenya iso ama chief directors any heads of agencies ni nyina send one questionnaires bi omon famre ye na yentumi enhyase na yenye enhyehye no no muntumi nye adwuma ewo device bia so either on laptops on computers on tablets ana on smartphones ni nyina etumi ye adwuma ewo ba bia owo bia hyehye so telecoms no enye ye hu esika na yetumi aye san hyehye no ye pese ye fa abefo kwan so eboa yen dew apomudin aso ye yefo nso no mutumi eye nhyehyeye a ebeboa na ye hu senia yare yi etene efa enti mampani ede ne nsa hyekata bia sese ema yentumi si ye ne telecoms companies ne betese ne ya ye emergency communication system bi ebeboa enu mu bi ne ye de app yi bedwa enra Ghana COVID-19 symptom tracker application eno nye apomudin enhyehye de rubo so no ne pese ankrankre na wo hododo watu kwan bi aba ne obi a wanya saa yare ni bi esan wutiri mu ntene wo papa ayam hyehye kakra wo mu san hwe ayare menya bia na nya bia wo kɔ hɔ no mu a ebisa simple questions bi o answer na ye tena chire ne yehwe a na ase wo betumi aba contact with ayare bia na akire wo ne wo ba be ye the information na ma apomudinfo na wa kire wo telephone number wo location to wote ho mesrese mu use Ghana Post digital address no de be ye beba ofie pe ana wo ni bi na kire ye ba bia wo na apomudinfo no contact us ne beba wana ase no mo aba be yi wo sample ni bi no mo akwa hwehwe mu ahwese ampa we are ni bi wanya bia na say ye resource ni na wonya bia wakoma ato yem when bi nsusu a ya ba be fa ni amawo ayare sa ya be hwe wo yare no amawo nti eno nyo na eba be hu na watenetene nsa bi ato so epo nani akire wa na ya ye wo han we de wa ni wo phone na wa fra onipa ko no onimu wo telephone number ni baby a won ko ana ohia ye hu a ya ba ya behwe oni wabusuafo ni nyina oni wonti efie ye mu no ye take one sample no ye ma gan enti ye nim se de ya setena mu esitie enti ya simple app a obia betumi eyusi enya ha ne ba be yin konya bi ana ye ba be dandandan ye ho a simple to use application nim se omo use Android phones ne so dos esen omo use iPhones no nti ya share here with Android iPhone de no ye ho hyehye na watwi bekwa awiye no na hyehye no esi na enra ye launch ye bepema na pay no na nipa apem a hesia sane kan 1600 apem a hensia apem ni hensia sem kan sem ano funfum amon fanchem doesn't dabi 16,000. Empim dunsia. Thank you. And I download. Fee and launch and launch bepim and pay. Empim dunsia and I download I send it one information. The year and she moon and so. Beye near chiri and na what symptoms ye bet to me a dear chiri. This information never ma upon form. Tinya fe ye ma be empim dunsia nyina chira kwan ye hu se ohape and a year of interest. No ma apomodin for one who hurry one near to me or direct near new akwa further in Kitahu. That's the beauty or a happy and who near money ye and nikano and on a boy ma yet to me a sonnet so kakram ye who near a here pa nona yakoshe munti a beboa said near ye near kasa oka wone phone so ana data or send ana phone near ogun ne here phone nan kasa number any baby a only one and who ne here ti ye nya sa information ye ne ka eno ho a eboa apomudin phone no me 0 in straight away ewo baby a how no anhwa ebi won ye besre mamnisi ye nyina ye ntena fie se enhu hia pa se ye kokromu a ye ntena fie yare ni nan yen ne di chi wan konsoso a konkofa yare boni bia emmafie emmeha woni wosuafo wotu fie a wote wade so or how bia emma until we can't overemphasize it when so yes kafo yare ana ehiafo yare ana akesefo ana atiatiafo ana tuntumfo ana akokofo etumi sai obia ntin hyehyai na ye de agu akwam ye besre ye nyina se yemma ne ye hiasem na ye niso na ye moa ye nyina ye hu na mframaboni baby efiri baaye no sanko ye nyina ye hu hare edamos.
Honorable Minister, thank you. I think one of the good things about the period in which we are is that we are all being forced to become bilingual. I think it's to take your questions and to respond. For those in our press pool who, because of social distancing, are not there, you are on the WhatsApp platform. You can please send your questions in if you have done them already, and we'll designate one of your colleagues to read out your questions. For those who are here, we'll take your questions. Just before I do that, is our quarantine facility still open? Is the mandatory quarantine facility still open, or has everybody been exited at this point? Dixon from National Security, please join me with a quick answer to that one. And then the first responders. I understand that the first responders made up of the clinicians in the hospitals who are taking care of our colleagues who have tested positive, and those in the ambulances, they have a quick word for us. Mrs. Zakaria, please ready, very quickly. And then if I see your indication by hand, I'll invite you to ask your question. Dixon, very quickly. The quarantine is still open. Where are we on that one?
Okay. Honorable Minister, thank you so much. So the Honorable Minister for Information, Honorable Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Honorable Minister for Communication, and Queen Mother for Achim Eswem. I hope I'm correct. Thank you. Honorable Minister, we met here about 21 days ago on the 24th day of March 2020, and I informed this August Assembly that we had launched a special national security operation, dubbed Operation COVID Safety, which was conceived and launched pursuant to the President's own directive to the national security community that we constitute an operation to support the Ghana Health Service to do three things: testing, tracing, and treatment. The first major task of the Joint Task Force was the mandatory quarantine of arriving passengers, travelers, and cases from outside of our borders. The operation, as you well know by now, was a resounding success to our fight to defeat the virus. Ladies and gentlemen, we have completed a large-scale infection and fumigation exercise of all holding facilities used for the national quarantining plan to ensure that each of them is quite safe and indeed 100% safe for public use, we have made a very aggressive effort to go around each of them to verify the extent of fumigation, extent of disinfection, and we're satisfied that that effort has been properly also executed. It's a commitment that, Mr. Minister, we made through the holding facilities, and it's a promise that government intends to really keep. Now, over the last 2 weeks, many of you have noticed, for instance, that the Operation COVID Safety Joint Task Force had also taken notice, just like all of us, of the emergence of fake and doctored videos, and as well as old videos, incidents of security operations that had no bearing with the current lockdown situation, thereby attracting very adverse public uproar and things like that. Now, Operation COVID Safety started the public engagement and community affairs program, the PACE program, to disabuse the public mind, and that also was very, very successful. We actually want to send a word of caution to those who engage in those mischievous behaviors, that creating and disseminating fake videos is a serious crime. And it's a serious crime, by the Honorable Minister rightly said, under the Electronic Communications Act. So in very few isolated cases that we are seeing excesses, or which had been reported to us, we are taking the urgent steps of withdrawing those members of personnel from the front lines and investigating the matters that have been called also into issue. We would want to assure the Ghanaian populace that at this moment, what we are doing with the operation is that simple. We are changing gears. We want you to know that we're taking the President's instructions seriously. Stay at home. This is a mantra from the operation. Stay at home for us while we stay at work for you. Stay at home for us while we stay at work for you. And with that, I'd want to end by just reiterating the President's own mantra that these are extraordinary times. All of us have a role to play. We must endeavor to observe the social distancing and the hand washing protocols. We must also wear the face mask. And when we are out, please that mask be on you. And we encourage all us, including those that we have control over, those who work with us, those who are with us, to also do the same, to wear the face masks, to sanitize their hands, to maintain the social protocols of social distancing. Thank you so much.
Dixon, thank you for that quick word from National Security. Yes, while you do that, Professor Zakaria, a quick word from the first responders, particularly those in the ambulances. Please share it with us, and then we'll take the question.
Yeah. Honorable Minister of Information, Honorable Minister of Communication, Honorable Minister of Chieftaincy Affairs, and all other protocols observed. From the National Ambulance Service perspective, we want to bring to the attention of the general public that as far as the fight against COVID-19 is concerned, it's a shared responsibility. And because we are an interface between community and the hospitals, I really want to emphasize the role everybody has to play as far as this is concerned. Before I do that, I just want to mention that of all the cases that have been mentioned, over 270 of them had to be moved from one location to the other by the ambulance service because of one medical condition or the other. And out of this, the breakdown is as follows. Up 235 are in Greater Accra, 10 in Kumasi, we have 8 in the northern region, 1 in Upper West, 2 in Upper East. We had some 9 suspected cases in Savannah, fortunately all negative. Then naturally we have 1 central region as well. Now, what we need to also understand is that the origin of these patients are from hotels 118, hospitals 64, residence 80, FM stations 2, police station 5, and immigration office 1. Now, let me just explain what this whole fight is about, so that once we understand that, we know what to do. Now, as far as COVID-19 is concerned, it's now considered a crisis, which is a mass casualty incident. And this is what we call biological mass casualty incident, or biological MCI. Now, the reason we continue advocating for stay at home is this. Even in the most advanced countries, their health structure is not able to cope. And what happens is that if you have so many people falling sick at the same time, to seek health care you know the limited number of doctors, limited number of nurses, paramedics definitely will not be able to cope. And so when they talk about flattening the curve, it means that the lesser they attend the health facility, the better the health facility is able to cope. So by staying at home, it means that practicing social distancing is trying to flatten the curve. And when that happens, that will really go a long way to slow the rate of transmission of the disease. Now, anytime you hear that a COVID-19 case has been confirmed, it means that someone in the community who was harboring the SARS-CoV-2 has transmitted it to another person. So it's advisable to stay at home so that at least we all help to slow the rate of transmission. Now, coming back to the role everybody has to play, for the community with information, the reason is that the paramedics will have to attend to all cases. But if you don't help them get the necessary information so that they take the necessary precautions, they are likely to be the source of transmission. For example, if you have to transport a case that is COVID, but because of hiding the information, the patient is transported like an ordinary case, you are jeopardizing and risking the life of everybody involved in the treatment. The other thing we need to know is that we really don't have the capacity, just like the other countries. On Sunday, the first air transport of COVID case was done. And this was a case from Bolga to Tamale and to Accra. Just to let you know, this patient needed to be on oxygen throughout. The patient's condition was such that she was oxygen dependent. Anytime the patient was off oxygen, the saturation was 85%. And oxygen, it shot up to 99%. What it means is that this patient didn't have this care, we will have lost the patient. So just to press the point that once we stay at home, we're going to reduce the number of people who are going to be sick. If we don't, and many people get sick at the same time, our health system is going to get overwhelmed and there's no way we can cope. So when they say stay at home, it means that you're trying to help. If you don't stay at home, you are becoming an enemy of the state because it means you are part of the problem. Therefore, it is not advisable to go out when it is not necessary. The other reason we need to emphasize is this. When the paramedics arrive, you should know that once they are protecting themselves, they are supposed to provide a face mask to the patient as well. So I just want you to know that a lot of the resources will also be needed in the pre-hospital setting. Because apart from paramedics protecting themselves, when they arrive to attend to a patient, as part of best practices, it means the patient will have to wear a face mask to prevent the patient coughing and sneezing on the health care attendants, and also to ensure that we don't transmit the disease. So this is just in a nutshell to let you know that a lot is happening behind the scenes, and there's a lot of pressure even on the pre-hospital care attendants. And this one advice to our health facilities. I'll give you an incident that happened, which was very unfortunate. A hospital called the paramedics to come for a suspected case. They kept the patient all right, but the hospital was not patient enough to allow for arrangement to be made at a treatment center. They forced the paramedics to take this patient. The paramedics took the patient to the isolation center, only to get there to realize that the beds were full. When they were returning the patient to the hospital that called for the service, they refused to allow the ambulance in and they closed their door. I just want you to understand that we should treat COVID cases as if they are cast, or maybe as if they have some serious disease that is not curable. They've just talked about stigmatization. I'm not going to repeat that, but just to let you know that we all have a role to play. And to also understand that there must be collaboration and cooperation. When a patient is already receiving care at a hospital and it's a suspected case, please don't be in a hurry to send the patient away. Let all the necessary arrangements be made. When a bed is available, then we move the patient. In that case, we'll all be helping to contain the situation. So before I end, I just want to add that so far, no organization has done any donation to the National Ambulance Service. It's because you think we don't need the PPEs. We do. We even do need them more. Because when we go to a patient, we have to give the patient a face mask to wear. So if you have any donations, please, we are still available. Thank you very much. Okay, fortunately, I'm supposed to translate in 1 minute this in my dialect, which is Sunja. Nana, Burana, Anya Kunyega, anya sanan kan benye fene kole ka bere kame kole fibi amsa anya kole benye na beba obnye buando fo bay fulat kete daga nan ko bal parme point la de mo lon adaga fo ba fe buto fo ba nyi kumu fenti tan sarkesa amsa ko so anya sanan kan nan asan ko sunga.
So how do we thank you in your language? Asankusu. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to take your questions and provide answers at this point in time. Just to quickly mention that as we are now getting a lot more public education, those in communities that are rejecting isolation centers being put up there, you understand that we all have to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. At our next briefing on Thursday, the Ministers for Trade, Energy and Finance will join us with some more details of the President's instructions and how they are implementing them there. But we continue with the mantra that be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. Concerned, but don't panic. Follow the instructions, stay at home, stop the spread, and let's all stay safe. I'll take the first 3, and then we will take another batch. Yes, sir. Kojo?
I'm Kojo from TV. Honorable, please permit me, I have 4 questions. One on the COVID tracker, education and security and emergency numbers.
Very quickly.
So on the COVID tracker, the minister explained very well how that works, but then we are asking how safe, because when you're downloading the app, it asks for so many permissions on your phone. And these days we know how people can really hack into your system and work with such apps. So please, how safe is the app? Because at the back end, there are so many permissions being asked when you are downloading.
So how safe is it?
Yes, please.
Let's go to the next one.
And then the emergency numbers, the 112 and 311, how can the deaf community benefit directly because they can't make calls on these numbers? And then the third one, the online and e-learning platforms. It seems we did not take into consideration persons with disability or children with special needs. Are there any arrangement for such children who are home visual impaired and then hearing impaired? And then with security, we're getting reports that some police officers are still not getting their stipend and then food on the field. This may demoralize them. And then some beneficiaries of the food being distributed, you know, some dry food. Are they being...
some eat what?
Dry food. I mean, the food that some have special cases, special
so
diets.
those with
special
diets.
Okay,
right.
Thank you very much.
Special. Okay, thank you.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
My name is Peter Atata Wekwe. There's an issue we want serious clarification to. Last Sunday, we had information that 2 Nigerians were in the police station, which were eventually diagnosed to be COVID positive. They have stayed in the police station for 8 days. They were sent to the Greater Accra Regional Hospital the day they were found on the checkpoint as illegal immigrants. And after taking the sample at Ridge Hospital, it declined custody of them, and the police took them back. Saturday before the result came. And after that, all attempts to get the COVID rescue team to go for them have failed. We started on Sunday evening. Yesterday, around 10 o'clock, they went for the 2 guys from the police station, sent them to Gai's Hospital, fumigated the police station. Then in the evening, they brought them back. The hospital said they cannot keep the people there. We want to know if it is a crime for policeman on duty to identify something that we are all fighting, and then they will now stand the risk of what they are helping us to stop. We want to understand why the police station, which is not a quarantine center, will be used as a kill zone for a COVID victim.
So your question is, how do we mitigate such risks?
Yeah. No, we want to understand the whole scenario of this thing, why they should abandon the patient on the police.
I've heard your question. Yes, sir.
My name is Godfrey Turner with TV3. I want to find out, we all know and we've been told that there's no vaccine for COVID-19. And at the beginning we heard that some people have been killed and discharged because after testing them twice, they've been discharged.
Yeah.
We want to find out what we are doing differently that is making this possible. And then if taking into measure some medicine that is not known now. And also want to find out the collaboration the government is having with the traditional medicine practitioners, that there's any collaboration at all to make sure that they also come out with something to help fight the COVID-19. And lastly, my question, I don't know from the police whether it's appropriate to tell us how the is done. Because
how the what is done?
I mean the COVID operation is done along the roads. You know that some roads have been blocked and they're trying to prevent people from moving into town. And we realized there's heavy traffic in town now. Today when I was coming, I realized that from along the Ofanko Achimota Road, very heavy traffic in front of the Accra Girls, and then my cameraman was also come from the Tishi Bush Road. Traffic, heavy traffic. They want to find out how the operation is done and how we can also make sure to ease traffic in town. Thank you.
So that one I think is quite clear. They are screening every single vehicle to ensure that everybody has a justification for being out there. I'll take that out of the pool of questions. Let me take another batch of questions and then I'll come to provide or invite other persons. First set of questions were technology driven or technology based. COVID tracker, how safe? How about patients for those who are disabled? There are police persons who still say that they are not getting PPEs. Is that it, Kojo? Who say they are not getting their stipends? Okay. And then those with special dietary needs. And then questions about how we mitigate such risks. For example, the police station that was responsible for holding some persons who were presumed, I think that is the education we've gotten this morning, persons who were presumed to be positive COVID-19 patients at that time. Before, questions about vaccine, cure, and traditional medicine. Yes, sir.
Joseph Akable, I work with Joy News. The first question has to do with persons who either left mandatory quarantine or were refused to be admitted to same. I reported one in the northern region. The person was on the run. I want to find out what's the latest. There was another issue at Fadama where they were trying to take the person into quarantine and the person refused as well. And the second issue has to do with those who have passed on. I want to find out what the government plan is or what the system in place is. The bodies released to the families to process them for funeral. And also the police service with regards to the 161 persons that they have arrested in Accra. I want to find out whether it includes persons who are alleged to have breached the restrictions and party at the beaches during the Easter festivities. If not, how far are they going about in those individuals as well? Okay. And the final one will be on the statement from the unemployed allied health professionals. They are threatening that they are going to withdraw their participation as contact tracers because others who are equally unemployed have been given financial runs. I want to find out whether that has come to the attention of the Ghana Health Service and general
unemployed
allied health professionals.
Allied health professionals. Has their issue come to the attention of the Ghana Health Service and what is their response?
Generally, how we are providing for persons to serve as contact tracers.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then I'll take a final one here and then with the responses.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Minister. My name is Bismarck Point Broker General. My question is actually coming from the Eastern region. Now that Eastern region, we have recorded 2 cases. What is the Ministry of Health doing to prevent this virus from spreading? And then the second one goes to the Ministry of Chieftaincy. Actually, Honorable Ombi, a community information sentence Nibia, a work women Tama, Optiminia Juma Sisi, and your critical season pie.
I didn't know to mean Juma.
Because of 1 or 2 issues popping up.
Issues.
Your best at least say.
There are 1 or 2 issues, so that we are informed. That's we are dealing with it.
Okay, Memfa baby to say yeah, Kofuridia Chishen and yeah example. There was some misunderstanding. Be omukosi 2 sentences ama and I'm soon to your community now. I also sent a spreading information at the call as case number 1 as case number 2. In Krobia, she said, "Yan she na yan see any in Sihona." Yarway, a bepim akon enemy pint, Mr. Honorable Minister of Information, a year Nananama Chinkuma for say, monhwɛ na momboa mombie saa information sentence no
into what a request
and thank you very much.
A question, a request into Ministry of Health containing spread in the eastern region, and only question you better respond. Into Honorable Minister, let me start with your set of questions while Ghana Health Service is preparing to respond to theirs as well. Honorable Minister.
The question was how safe is that because of the permissions that the app requires before you can download it. Those permissions are the standard permissions that many of these web links and platforms would require from any app. So maybe the answer would be it's as safe as WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, because you would see that the permissions are the normal standard permissions that anyone would require. And the same protocols are being used. Strict data protection guidelines have been issued and are being used. As I indicated, the only information that we need are the systems, locations, and the numbers, so that the Ghana service can know exactly where the issues, hotspots are, and zero in on them. Thank you.
Minister, thank you. Since this incident, the two Nigerians, we have been working with the Ghana Police Service to ensure that if any persons are picked up as part of normal security operations who are also suspected to be persons who are presumed to be persons who may be positive for COVID-19, first of all, the necessary PPEs as is being made available to the police officers. We know it's not enough. We are doing our best to get a law out there. But first of all, they ensure that they use those, and secondly, that they are not mixed up with the general population. And thirdly, when it's necessary, that the ambulance service would evacuate them to an isolation unit for treatment. That is also observed. But as part of that incident specific, the necessary data being gathered to ensure that the persons who handle that particular matter are also self-isolated and tested and protected has also been triggered. So that's a quick one to our colleague from TV Africa. There's no vaccine, yes, so how are people getting cured? And I think you have to take time to explain what is a vaccine and how do people get it, how the immune system kicks in, etc. Because I think sometimes people think that they're vaccine to cure people. So you have to help us with that one. And then your collaboration with traditional medicine. You may also want to talk about persons on the run, the one person from Tamale on the run, and then another person from Fadama who is being sought, who has not been found, as has been reported in the media. So Dr. Baji, please join me. By the way, Ghana Ambulance makes me understand that Puma Energy has donated a lot of fuel for the ambulances that are doing all the pickups and are doing all the runs. 223,000 Ghana cedis worth of fuel, and they would like to acknowledge. Apart from that one, they will be happy to take some more.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think generally, yes, vaccines are meant to provide prevention so that you get a vaccine and then you don't get you are immune to get a disease. What we are doing here, now there's no vaccine. What we are doing, you have treatment protocols that takes care of those who are mild. We have symptomatic treatment. We have those who have low abdomen, respiratory illness, those who are moderate, those who are severe, all the way to those who have to be on the ICU ventilator. So basically, that's why we have grouped them in that group and are treating them. We also provide the very necessary things like feeding and providing them with appropriate environment that encourages them to get well. Those who have an look environment in their homes are also encouraged at home, and staff go to see them routinely. So, but I also believe that a lot of the people have come early. Our search in the contact tracing have allowed us to pick them early before they develop serious disease, and that's why it is helping us get the results we are getting. And we intend to do that and do teleconferencing with other centers across the country so that they can also learn from the best practices that's happening in the other sites in the country. Traditional, yes, we are collaborating with the traditional health providers, and as usual, as we've mentioned here, if you have any medication, it has to go through the appropriate protocols of testing to be sure that it is safe, it's not toxic, and it can cure what you claim to cure. And we are ready to work with all of them to ensure that we go through that process through FDA and other agencies, and those medicines will be available. There was a question on burial. We still are providing supervised burial, which means that the body is not going to be handled, or you will not be allowed to handle the body, but we encourage you, work with you so that you don't expose, nobody is exposed to the body until its burial. So that's what we do, supervised burial. Eastern region has recorded 32 cases, yes. The same protocol, as soon as we pick a case, we do a listing of contacts. We follow all contacts, identify and isolate them. As we speak now, a significant number, I will not be able to, because the numbers keep changing by day, are currently in isolation. Some are, as I mentioned, at Tua Government Hospital. Some are also in Koforidua. Some have been put in hotels to take them out of the place that they are in, to ensure that we prevent further spread and contain it. That's exactly what we are doing in Koforidua. And then the team, the national team and the regional team are involved in making sure these cases are. See, we have them in various districts, them stretch into our Greater Accra because of the contacts. And so we have Greater Accra and East Region and National collaborating to contain the condition. Honorable Minister, I think those are the questions, unless I've missed any one of them. Oh, yes, yes, sir. Yes, currently there has not been any formal my table, but we are aware of our concerns. So what we do is that I'm sure there are many other workers who are also waiting to be employed. And during the contact tracing, we work with the associations. They nominated people we train to participate in the exercise. And just like all contact tracers, they are paid a daily wage for their meals, etc. And that's what we treat all, including the community health nurses, the field epidemiologists, and the lab technologists who are attached to the team to take samples. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. ACP, please join us. 161 arrests, does it include some of the revelers in Accra, and what is being done about some of those who breached in Accra?
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Accra has 161 cases, 68 are under investigation, 88 on bail, and a number of them are in courts. So today I know that some of them have been adjourned for case management conference to take place. So we have people who were engaged in parties, in weddings, and other activities, for example, moving from their homes to other areas are definitely not within their local areas, engaging in activities which are not prescribed this exemption. So all of those people have been arrested, and as I mentioned in my brief, their investigations are ongoing. They are on bail because we obviously can't keep people in our cells and potentially contaminate people in the cells. The thing is, existing inmates or people who were in the cells prior to this disease outbreak have either been granted bail or been advised to engage in social distance. So cells are being decongested, and numbers that are in those cells are not as many as to potentially have the disease spreading within the cells. So all the other cases that you have mentioned, somebody mentioned TV3, did you say about the beaches? Yes. So any arrest that has been made will definitely be investigated and definitely be put before court. So anybody found violating the act or violating the imposition of restrictions act will definitely be dealt with according to law. They are on bail because we can't, as I said, keep them in our custody to potentially spread the disease, that is, anybody has it or not. But I want to assure you that any person found violating this law is definitely going to be dealt with according to law. Thank you.
Thank you, ACP. We'll take a final batch of questions and then we'll wrap up. A final batch of questions and then we'll wrap up. There was a question about learning support for persons with disabilities. I'm informed by the Minister for Communications that we'll quickly need to check from the Ministry of Education that has developed the content so that they can advise us on an appropriate response to that one. So we'll take that under advisement. Final batch of questions. If there are none, go to the platform and let's quickly wrap up. Oh, you have a question? Okay, so while they adjust the microphone, let me take the questions on the platform while they adjust the microphone. Yes, sir, quickly. Quickly, sir. Yeah. And the question is, what is government doing?
Secondly, there's also a call by the GJA to government to assist the media with PPEs as part of flyness in the fight against COVID-19. What is government's take on this?
Okay.
And finally, on something that happened yesterday, so there's a particular question on what does government make of politicians spreading misinformation on social media? An example is given that, for instance, yesterday, there was a figure that was being circulated as the case numbers. What is government doing about this?
Okay. Earlier, there were some questions from CTF as well.
Yes.
Ms. Avles sent some questions. What were they? Quickly.
Let me read that to you. So there's a question asking for more details on the community transmission. So what is the total number and percentage of community transmissions?
Okay.
And then there's also a question on providing more clarity on the protocol using or countries using to determine recovery.
Recovery.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, madam. You have the final word.
Thank you. Mine is complaint to the police. GBC branded vehicles are finding it so difficult at checkpoints. We get there, they ask us, especially in the afternoon, where are you going to? We are going to pick staff to come to work. They answer so many questions, and sometimes they even ask them to go back. An incident happened at Abekan La Paz yesterday, Las Palmas restaurant. The driver was going to pick staff to work, and he was asked so many questions. After answering, they still asked him to go back. So the police, please, you need to understand our nature of work and help us out.
Thank you. Thank you. So, ACP, you may want to refer that to your men and women out there on the media is an exempt category. We've asked media persons to carry IDs, and colleagues, hope you are also carrying your IDs. That makes it easier for them. Because the mere fact you are in a vehicle with a sticker on it does not mean that you will be let through. They will have to go through the processes of asking the necessary questions to ensure that it's not just anybody who's put a branding on some vehicle seeking to go through. So please also understand that they do their work, but ACP, you may want to have a word with your colleagues that we have to give media priority so that they do the work like they are doing for us here today. We apologize for that, and we ask the police to step up to it. Protocol recovery, I think we've explained it earlier. It's after 2 negative tests pursuant to treatment. Community transmission, the data is website splitting between those with a travel history and those with no travel history. Misinformation on social media. I think with the view very clearly that first they constitute offenses, and we're asking the investigative bodies to investigate and bring people to book for such acts. You'll find some of those Facebook walls openly. We should be able to pick up persons and have them prosecuted because there are laws in this country that go against that. But listen, also to politicians, those in the ruling party, those in opposition, who think that this is a good time for misinforming the public for parochial political gain. You are being plainly responsible. This is the time when we need to spread facts and knowledge to people so that they can protect themselves. So if you think that this is a good time to fabricate things and throw them out there, parochial political gain, so that what? You will stay in power or win power, and by the time all the people are dead, who are you going to govern? It's plainly irresponsible. Now is not the time. Let's finish with this national battle, and we can get back to some very decent politics as a country. I think simply that's what we'll say. GJ requests that media should be included in the PPE distribution. We'll quickly take it to advisement. Dr. Boaje, these are also frontline workers. We have to include because once you say frontline, you can get issues. Yes, but I'm sure you get the context. So let us explore how, even in the limited quantities, we can provide for our colleagues. And neighborhoods, I'm sorry, the first question about neighborhoods. Neighborhoods that are protesting and not allowing isolation centers to be put up. What is government doing? We're working with the Ministry of Chieftaincy, as has been outlined, to some deeper engagement so that there's deeper understanding can these isolation centers. In fact, when we have isolation centers, it actually protects the neighborhood so that when somebody is presumed positive, we isolate that person in that center and that person doesn't get to spread it within that community. It is even in your own interest for us to have an isolation center there to isolate persons, test them, and treat them so that we don't put you at risk. But working through the Ministry of Chieftaincy, Minister, we're very grateful for your support. We should be able to deepen that collaboration. We are going to wrap at this point. Could you have something very final? We have to wrap up.
My question on the emergency number 112 and then 31, I think Dr. Zakaria is here. He can tell us what arrangements are there for persons with disabilities.
Yeah, but they don't handle the lines. The feedback is given to them. So let me take it, and then let me get those who run the technology to give us feedback. So, Kojo, we have two outstanding questions from you, which hopefully we should be able to respond to. Ladies and gentlemen, we've run out of time. Leave it here. I want to thank all the dignitaries and members of the committees who've been with us this morning, and later in the week we'll give you a final update. Stay at home, stop the spread, stay safe, spread facts and calm, not panic and fake news, and let's win this together. Thank you.